Up peeps, I'm Aleks Mickelland, and right now I got the 7th edition of my Euro 2012 previews rockin' and rollin'. Today, it's another team considered as a tournament favorite. That's right. Germany is in the spotlight. Now, I'll start off by saying this. In terms of international football, Germany is the most successful European country of all time. These guys have the talent, the players, the pedigree, the experience, and of course, recognition to show for their efforts. Other than 1930 and 1950, they've qualified for every World Cup, winning in 1954, 74, and 90, finishing runners-up in 1966, 82, 86, and 2002, and claiming third place in 1934, 1970, 2006, and 2010. They've also been a mainstay in every Euro since 1972, earning the trophy that same year, in 1980 and 1996, in addition to placing runners-up in 1976, 1992, and 2008. So you see, the Nationalmannschaft has a massive reputation in world football. Of course, with the vast number of players they've produced over the years, and the numerous dynasties their club teams have enjoyed, it's no wonder they've been as good as they have. There's Fritz Walter, Uwe Seeler, Paul Breitner, Gerd Müller, Bertie Vogts, Sepp Maier, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, Pierre Littbarski, Lothar Matthäus, Harald Schumacher, Rudi Völler, Thomas Hessler, Andres Brehme, Jürgen Klinsmann, Oliver Bierhoff, Oliver Kahn, and Michael Ballack, with the greatest German player of all time being Franz Beckenbauer, who revolutionized the sweeper position. And that's just a fraction of the many, and I mean many, quality players to have pulled on a German shirt in the past. Most of these guys were amazingly consistent and put in very clinical, workmanlike performances throughout the years, which served them well until the end of the 1990s and into the 2000s. With the old rough and tumble classic style of football they played not achieving the desired results any longer they needed, Germany revitalized and revamped the youth programs from the ground up at the behest of former national team coach Klinsmann, whose efforts to rebuild the German national team have paid huge dividends these days. And I mean huge dividends, as they produced an alarming number of fantastic players with fundamental, technical, and finishing ability the past few years. This has resulted in this year's side being pegged as a major favorite, with every chance of claiming Euro 2012. Now, the main focus for Germany is on the offensive side of the ball, where they can form a limitless number of combos, but their defenders are also highly skilled. They've got Manuel Neuer, one of the best keepers in the world right now. Their back four is very versatile as well. They've got a great mix of size, speed, vision, defensive instincts, and offensive ability. They'll be led by Philipp Lahm, who can play both fullback positions and harass the greatest strikers in the game when needed. Who the other three slots go to? Anyone's guess, really. Mats Hummels, Holger Badstuber, Jerome Boateng, and Benedikt Höwedes are all high-end defenders who fit the new era of German football to a T. Any of these guys would do a good job. Moving on, we have Germany's midfield, which is simply, in a word, loaded. Bastian Schweinsteiger and Sami Khedira are near locks to feature as the defensive midfield pair, helping to make the back four solid. The three midfield slots in front of them are a little bit harder to guess, although Mesut Ozil has vaulted to superstardom since joining Real Madrid a couple years back, and possesses limitless creative ability and influence as a number 10 type of player. Smart, opportunistic, clinical. Ozil possesses the attributes needed to strike fear into any defense possible. After that, Germany's left with a choice of Thomas Müller, Lukas Podolski, Toni Kroos, Mario Götze, Marco Reus, and Andre Schürrle. Yeah, have fun debating that one amongst yourselves, guys. Although in my mind, I think Podolski and Müller will get the starting nods alongside Ozil. And as for the strikers, Germany's brought only two. Miroslav Klose of Lazio and Mario Gomez of Bayern Munich. Both had great seasons for their club teams and are fearsome finishers in their own right. They'll definitely give opposition and goalkeepers fits with their command of the penalty box. All in all, a squad overflowing with talent in every possible area. Even with a side as carefully constructed as theirs is, Euro 2012's German team doesn't come without its fair share of minor problems. For one, the squad can be considered a little inexperienced. With the average age being 24.4 years, some of the players, especially at the back, are going to have to deal with the very high expectations of the fans back home. Because nerves have a huge effect on any team's chances, whether they're on the fringe or a bona fide contender. If the young players get involved early and often, which I'm sure they will, Germany will have no trouble asserting themselves. There's also a slight issue with Gomez's inability to deliver in the big games. He had simply a night to forget against Chelsea in the Champions League final, and has a tendency to produce some shocking misses, including an absolute sitter against Austria in Euro 8. It remains to be seen if Gomez can rebound from these poor performances, and call upon the form that's seen him score 80 goals in 97 games the past 2 seasons. With the service he'll get from the German midfield, he'll definitely get plenty of chances to add to that tally. Given the enormous collection of talent on this German side, I've got them advancing from Group B in first place, number 1. I give them the slight edge over Holland due to close his scoring record in front of goal, and the unpredictability of Mesut Ozil. In addition, they have a slight talent edge on the wings defensively. Also, 2 things to keep in mind here. Number 1, all 23 players are major contributors for their club teams. Just because some of them are not in the starting 11 does not mean they're not of high quality. Well, that's exactly the opposite. Number 2, their whole team is young. I mean scary young. As in haven't hit their prime yet young. And they're already this good. They're great now, but just imagine what these guys can do in a few years. I shudder to think of that. And that's a wrap for Germany. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And get ready for my upcoming video explaining Portugal's chances in Euro 2012. Until next time, I'm Aleks Mickelland, and you're watching Euro 2012 Predictions on AMTV.